Hey there! If you're looking for a dog trainer in Powell, you know it can feel like a pretty big decision, right? Well, that's exactly what we're here to help with. We're going to walk you through everything you need to know to make a great choice for both you and your dog.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about what training for life here in Powell really looks like. Then we'll decode all your training options. After that, we'll get into how to make a confident choice, and finally, we'll cover how you can enjoy our town with your well-behaved pup.
All right, first up, training for life in Powell. You know, this isn't just about teaching sit and stay. It's really about getting your dog ready for the real world, our world, right here in the community.
Think about it. We're talking about those calm walks on Emery Road, or being able to greet someone at the hardware store without your dog jumping all over them. And, of course, just having a peaceful afternoon at one of our local parks. That's the real goal here.
Okay, so with those real-life goals in mind, let's figure out how to get there. It's time to decode your training options and what you should really be looking for in a professional. You're going to hear this term a lot, positive reinforcement. And it's pretty simple, really. It just means using rewards, like a tasty treat or a good boy, to encourage the behaviors you want to see. It's so popular because, well, it works, and it builds an awesome bond of trust and confidence with your dog.
Now, what about all those letters after a trainer's name? They can actually be a super helpful shortcut. Things like CPD-TKA or KPA-CTP tell you they've got a good handle on general training skills. But if you're working on something more serious like fear or anxiety, you want to look for certifications like CBCCKA or IABC-CDBC. Those signal a deeper expertise in behavior issues. Then you've got the classic choice, group classes or private sessions. Group classes are fantastic for socialization and are usually easier on the wallet. The downside, you don't get as much one-on-one time. Private sessions, on the other hand, are totally customized for your dog. They're perfect for working on those in-home things like barking every time the doorbell rings. The trade-off, of course, is that they do cost a bit more. Okay, so you've got the basics down on methods and class types. Now for the really practical stuff, making that confident choice. Let's talk about costs and the questions you absolutely need to ask. All right, let's talk about budgeting. What should you expect to pay around Powell and the Knox County area? For a typical group class that runs 4 to 6 weeks, you're looking at somewhere between, say, $140 and $285. A one-on-one private lesson usually falls in the $100 to $180 range. And yeah, those board and train programs, they're a much bigger investment, as you can see. This should at least give you a ballpark idea for your planning.
So you know the options, you have an idea of the costs, but what do you ask a trainer when you're interviewing them? How do you really figure out if they're the right fit for you and your dog?
Here are 6 questions you should definitely have on your list. Number 1, what training methods do you use? You want to hear about that positive reinforcement we mentioned? 2, what are your credentials? 3 is a big one. How will you customize this for my dog? Because every dog is different. Then, how do you measure progress? 5, what are the total costs and what are your policies? No surprises. And finally, if you're dealing with behavior stuff, will you work with my vet? That one's crucial. And now for the best part. Let's talk about enjoying Powell with your dog. I mean, this is why we're doing all this work, right? So you can get out there and have fun together safely.
Okay, a quick rundown of some local rules just so you're in the know. First, Knox County has a leash law, so your dog needs to be on a leash in public unless you're at an official dog park. Also, a rabies vaccine is required by state law for all dogs over 3 months. And just a heads up, excessive barking can be a nuisance violation, which is another great reason to work on training.
So, where can you go to practice all these new skills? The Pet Safe Bark Park over at Victor Ashe is awesome for working on off-leash stuff in a fenced-in area. And if you want a beautiful spot for a leashed walk to practice polite manners, you can't go wrong with the trails at Seven Islands State Birding Park or House Mountain. You know, at the end of the day, finding the right training is about so much more than just obedience. It's about helping your dog become a confident, happy member of your family and our community. We really hope this helps you find the perfect trainer and enjoy a wonderful life together here in Powell, whether you're relaxing at home, visiting friends, or just out and about.